There's a traitor among the Temerians.
Careful, Witcher. You'd better have evidence if you plan to accuse someone of treason.
Busi and Anais.
Yes?
Count Marivel outright betrayed Temeria, while Baron Kimbold planned to murder Foltest's children.
Those are serious charges.
Kimbold hired some thugs to do the wet work for him. I found them, and one's ready to testify. They never got the job done because the convoy carrying the children changed course, only to fall into an ambush set by Marivel. The Count wanted to hand Anais and Busi over to the Nilfgaardians. You'll find the proof in this letter. Busi's death was an accident.
Dark clouds gather over Temeria. I cannot arrest them both. Their contingents are among the largest in Loch Muin, and I cannot risk mutiny by their men. Thank you, Witcher. You did well to bring this matter to my attention. I only hope Baron Kimbold will agree to stand with me. So you see, Baron, I have learned all, and it makes me sick to think about it. However, you may count yourself fortunate, for we've a greater problem to deal with. You shall provide me with your full support as we arrest Count Marivel.
This plea sounds more like a threat to me, Constable.
It is no plea, it is an order, and yes, a threat. Refuse, and the Council of Regents shall receive ample evidence of your crime, of your wish to slay the children for whom our king gave his life.
What are your terms, Natalis?
Upon returning to Vizima, I shall destroy the evidence against you. Prior to that, however, I expect your unconditional support.
How can I be certain you will do as you pledge?
My word still means something, unlike yours, you lying, rotting son of a whore.
So be it. But heed this, Constable. Do not try to cross me.
Look who's here, the Rivian Witcher.
Greetings.
Our paths cross often, it seems.
Too often.
What do you seek here?
Triss Marigold.
In the Nilfgaardian camp? Fistek has addled your brain.
Lower your sword, son.
You've got cheek, Geralt.
Let's go. One false move and your ambassador will never see Nilfgaard's son again.
My men won't let you leave here alive.
They will if you ask them to, Excellency, and I believe you will.
Reynold Ep Madsen's orders come from the Emperor himself. He'd rather die than give you Marigold.
Then he'll die.
No, mark my words. You will. Unless you release me, it's not too late.
You're boring me. Pick up the pace.
Why do you care for that sorceress so much?
Go.
Are you in love with her? A poor choice, even for you.
That cuts no ice with me. Out of the way, all of you, or the old man dies.
Hold there!
I'm not joking.
I know, and I advise you not to hesitate. Kill him, for we shan't move one bit.
Renwald!
He who brings me the Witcher's head will get the Order of Merit.
But Ambassador Fitzestellen...
Your Excellency. Orders from the capital.
Now I'll have to kill you all.
What are you waiting for? Get him! Congratulations, Witcher. They were my best men.
You should have picked them more carefully, or trained them better.
Or perhaps they were ready for any foe but you.
Free Triss, or join them.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
She has information that's very important to me.
Ah, that I understand. You're exceptionally reasonable for a Nordling.
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that.
It should, because I in turn have information about her, which you may find interesting.
What are you talking about?
Your friend and the other witches conspired against your rulers.
How do you know that?
From the best possible source. She confessed.
And how did you convince her to do that?
By showing her the confessions of other Lodge members.
I don't believe you.
That's irrelevant at this point. During our chat, my people managed to regroup, call for reinforcements.
Maybe now they'll start fighting like men.
Time to show you the Empire's true power. Surround him!
Geralt?
Didn't expect to see me.
Are you kidding? The only person you expect to see in a Nilfgaardian dungeon is the executioner.
Did they torture you?
They tried various things, but they got nothing from me.
When I left Flotsam with Vernon, I somehow doubted I'd find you so soon.
I know it was hard on you. I'll never forget this, you hear? Never.
Couldn't you ask your friends from the Lodge for help?
How do you know of the Lodge?
I just do. Listen, Triss, to come here for you, I had to split up with Vernon. Temeria is in danger of disintegrating.
Are you sorry you chose to come here?
No, I'm not. But freeing you from Shillard's grasp was not my only reason for coming here. I need you to explain your role in this mess. And to explain why you lied to me.
That's not true.
I know about the Lodge. I know the Lodge was behind Demavend's assassination. I know Triss Marigold is a member of the Lodge.
It's not like that.
Show me the error in my reasoning.
True. I'm a member of the Lodge. Just like 8 other sorceresses. But if you think I'm responsible for the Lodge's actions, you're badly mistaken. The Lodge is a theater for 2 actresses. Sheila and Philippa have long dominated it.
To the point where you didn't know about the murder they planned?
To the point where I was no longer invited to gatherings.
Why?
They stopped trusting me.
Because you didn't agree with them?
9 women very rarely agree on anything. The actual problem was that...
Tell me.
I was close to you. If Sheila fears anyone, it's Geralt of Rivia. The Lodge did everything to convince me that our relationship didn't bother them, even that it suited them. But they manipulated me. Through me, they fed you select information. Depending on the circumstances, they twisted facts.
We're still close. They could still be doing it.
Don't insult me.
Calm down, Triss. Reynold Ep Madsen claimed otherwise, but I'll always take your word over that of some Nilfgaardian lowlifes. Now, you'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth.
All existing councils of mages disintegrated after the Thanad massacre. We all acted separately. Philippa decided to create a new organization, a secret one this time. When I was sworn in, it never crossed my mind that the Lodge's plans would soon become secret to its members. As you know, Philippa's not one for minor undertakings. She presented a plan for creating a powerful state controlled by sorceresses.
No wonder the kings are opposing the sorceresses. Nobody likes a schemer.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm. To control a powerful state, they needed to create one first. Or find a wealthy land with a suitable political arrangement and an easily manipulated ruler. Sheila chose the Pontar Valley, Demavend, and Stennis.
Demavend hated mages.
No more than Henselt or Radovid. Sheila and Philippa saw Demavend as the weakest ruler. His son, Stennis, blows hot and cold. Plus, he who controls the Pontar Valley controls the north. So it was in Edirn that a popular rebel emerged, preaching the idea of a new state. At one of our meetings, I just asked how they imagined overthrowing Demavend. That was the last time I was invited. After Demavend's death, I became suspicious but had no evidence. Philippa brushed me off. When you went off to meet Yorveth and Sheila was busy with the Karen's carcass, I managed to scan parts of her megascope. That's when I learned that Sheila had dealings with Letho.
Why didn't you tell me?
I wanted to, but we never met after that. Letho must have shadowed me when I entered Sheila's room. Then he forced me to teleport us to somewhere near Vergen.
Did you talk to him?
He wasn't aggressive. In Vergen, he told me that Sheila commissioned them to assassinate Demavend. Them being the Witchers of the School of the Viper. Sheila helped them prepare the assassination.
I wonder why he told you about it.
Is that important?
Conspirators who suddenly divulge everything? I'd be suspicious.
There was some interference as we teleported to Edern. I emerged intact, but pretty battered. I knew Philippa was in the area. I decided to go see her and lay my cards on the table.
Maybe Letho wanted just that.
I met a woman at Philippa's house. Thought she was just a servant or Philippa's lover. Before I could speak, I was overpowered by spells. I hardly expected an attack. The pain I felt as my body was compressed. It's indescribable. As if all my bones were being broken. It's even worse when you return to your true form. In any case, Philippa had no idea her lover was a Nilfgaardian spy. I was carried as that figurine all the way to Loch Muin. Asira decompressed me back just before they murdered her. Shillard interrogated me but learned nothing. If it wasn't for you, they'd have had me quartered. I didn't piece the puzzle together until I was here, in the dungeon. Now you know everything.
Ever find out what Sheila was actually doing in Flotsam? I find it hard to believe she went there just to kill a monster and earn a few orans.
You're right, of course. It had something to do with Letho and the Scoia'tael.
What did she want from Yorveth?
The Scoia'tael were Saskia's trump card. I expect Sheila needed to know what the elves would do given that a war with Hensel was practically inevitable.
Who had Foltest assassinated?
I have no idea. Perhaps after Demavend's successful assassination, Sheila and Philippa decided to take the next step.
That would be stupid. Killing Demavend was a way to take control of the Pontar Valley. People would forget the regicide in a year, and the Lodge could put its plan in motion. They had to know that if Foltest died, men like Roche wouldn't rest until they learned why that had happened.
One thing is certain. Letho killed Foltest, and Sheila was working with Letho.
Did Saskia know the Lodge's plans?
She didn't even know the Lodge existed. Philippa told her that the sorceresses would support an independent state in the Pontar Valley, no strings attached. A fairy tale, but Saskia bought it. Saskia backed Philippa, and the people backed Saskia.
That'll have to do for now.
We'll learn more at the talks.
You're going to attend?
You have no memory of how the world worked before the Thanad massacre.
Actually, I know exactly how it worked.
That means...
We'll talk about my memory later.
All right. If the Council and Conclave still existed, kings wouldn't be assassinated and massacres would be less frequent. This is our chance to restore these institutions, and we shouldn't miss it. Normalizing relations between the rulers and the mages who advise them is our only chance for peace.
And our only chance to dismantle the Lodge.
The Lodge will disintegrate anyway. Once the kings learn it was behind the assassinations, they'll start a witch hunt. We can prevent that from happening. I'm all for punishing the guilty, but can't abide collective responsibility. I'm ready to go and reveal everything I know about Philippa Eilhart, Sheila de Tanserville, and their schemes.
Let's go then.
We shouldn't arrive at the same time. Let's split up.
Triss.
Yes?
That was some mess. I wouldn't want to see you hurt like that again.
Don't worry, I'll manage. See you at the talks.
All right.
Surviving son of a cunt! His cocksucking motherfucking majesty!
Excuse me?
Oh, pardon me, sir, I meant no offense.
You're leaving the deliberations. Why?
Henselt!
He used to have all Edirn. We're to live in a Kedwenny yoke. Scandalous.
No one opposed him?
None! Radovid drools for Temeria, and will let that lout have anything in exchange. The North will never be the same again. I must return home. Farewell.
Roche had murder in his eyes. He wanted blood and couldn't care less that it was royal, that this was what Letho would have wanted. The death of a king is the triumph of chaos, civil war, famine, fear among common folk, a time of disdain. That is the only reason Henselt remains alive and Kedwen grows stronger. Thousands of Kedwennies live better lives because their ruler is an amoral, ruthless son of a bitch who stands above the law.
Constable John Natalis.
Interex John Natalis? He is regent.
Hard to believe. He's a general, not a politician.
I don't find it at all surprising. The factions were at each other's throats, so an outside man was needed. This candidacy is a message. Stop treating us like a victim. We're dangerous and armed, with the authority of the victor from Brenna behind us.
Whatever the case, there is a problem with Natalis.
I know. He's honest. We must think of it as a challenge.
Welcome. I'm Ilona, the bearded she-elf.
Bearded?
Don't be a child. We came here to perform, but this place is a circus in itself. Nobody's interested in us, so we're on to plan B. Trade.
What do you sell?
Food. Fresh. Very good. You want to buy something, or are you waiting for my beard to grow out?
Fine, I'll bite. Show me your beard. I'll pay your full performance fee.
That'll be 200 orans. Prepare for your final lesson.
Final? But...
I'll have no discussion. This will be a practical object lesson. You'll learn what a sorceress... You want to buy something? Or are you waiting for my beard to grow out?
Fine, I'll bite.
That'll be 200 orans. But...
Greetings.
Here to see the show. It's cancelled, indefinitely. We're now in the services sector.
What service do you provide?
I was once a good swordsmith, or at least it looked like I might be. A riot came through, took my workshop with it, but the skill remained. I actually prefer swallowing swords to hammering them, but that upsets my wife.
Give her my best.
You can do so yourself. She's Ilona, the bearded she-elf.
Ah, and how's life with a bearded she-elf?
Pretty normal. We don't generally bring our work home with us.
So, even the Nilfgaardians have graced us with their presence.
Your Excellency knows well that our hosts are libertines and eccentrics.
My dear Councillor, Northern business should truly remain Northern. No extravagance excuses Shillard's presence.
Forgive me, Excellency, but I must disagree. Let us be realists. The Emperor would learn of every word spoken here anyway. Knowing that, our hosts have moved forward with their famous hospitality.
Famous hospitality. Good one.
We're about to witness a great event.
Yeah, I can't wait. Let's go inside.
It's now or never.
Whether you like it or not, John Natalis, Temeria will be divided.
For the good of the entire North.
The united forces of Kedwen and Redania will end the fighting among the Elder Houses and secure peace from Gorsvelen to Ellendar.
Temeria has yet to speak its last.
Vernon Roche, commander of your fallen King Special Forces, was responsible for today's massacre in the Cadwenny camp.
Has he been captured?
He fled. Our people are on his trail.
Lesser incidents have culminated in war, Constable.
Roche acted on his own behalf.
This illustrates precisely why Temeria cannot be left to fend for itself. The result would be anarchy and chaos.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the Northern Kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the Conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tanserville's signature.
Without our royal seals, you should be allowed to designate advisors to cowherds at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tanserville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tanserville has royal blood on her hands. She can't sit on the Conclave.
That is a lie.
Have you anything to support these claims, Merigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tanserville was behind the assassinations of Demavend and Foltest.
Officials of the future Council and Conclave. Sheila de Tanserville should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold speaks the truth, Lady de Tanserville will be condemned to death.
Sheila de Tanserville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit on the Conclave.
Arrest her.
You don't know the whole truth. Merigold doesn't know what she's talking about.
while you can, Witcher. You can't stop me, not you, not anyone else. If I have to, I will kill you. How do you like my dragon?
You're late. I've already managed to stabilize the portal.
You've got nowhere to run. Sooner or later, somebody will find you.
I prefer to leave on my own terms.
Where's Letho?
Synthesis will tend to him, as she will to all the fools who get a hard-on at the mere thought of burning a sorceress at the stake.
Where is he?
I don't know, fool. I've been looking for him since Foltest's assassination. Letho cheated all of us. We were deceived by his dull face and sluggish stare. Don't you understand? The Lodge sought a way to get rid of Demavend, that's true. He was a weak, volatile king. Edirn would eventually choke to death under his rule. We chose the lesser evil. He had to be eliminated, and Letho happened to be at hand.
Foltest? Henselt?
We had nothing to do with that. After assassinating Demavend, Letho used our gold and magical support to find and meet Yorveth. The elf was to help him hide until the matter blew over, or so I thought. The Lodge did not condemn Foltest to die.
Then who did?
Nilfgaard. Letho is the king of liars and emperor of traitors. From the start, he worked for the glory of the great sun and the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. He lied to everyone. Me, Yorveth, your stupid little Triss, and you.
Got any evidence?
A moment ago, I received a message from the Lodge's agent in Sintra. The Imperial Army is on the move. They're fording the Yaruga now. Do you think the North can defend itself in the current situation? And can you count on another miracle at Brenna?
I don't know, but you made it all possible and you'll answer for that. The stigma of treason is yours for all time.
We shall see. For no one will leave this city alive. No one will tell this story. Philippa controls the dragon. As soon as I disappear, it will turn the city into a flaming tomb.
The dragon attacked Foltest's troops during the siege of Lavalette Castle. That hardly supports your tale.
We did not control it then. We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it. This is your end, Witcher.
Farewell! Something's not right! The diamond! Someone replace the diamond! This one's flawed! I'll be torn to bits! Geralt, remove it!
You waited long enough. Should you survive, go south to Nilfgaard, where you'll find Yennefer of Vengerberg. Farewell, Witcher.
Are you all right?
More or less.
And the dragon?
Let's say it had a hard landing, impaled itself on a tree.
Did you kill it?
It's alive. You know I don't kill dragons.
But Philippa's...
In time, we'll deal with her. You know that could be one of the last dragons alive, a noble and beautiful creature.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
He's waiting for you.
Waiting?
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
What do you mean, waiting? How do you know?
Utter chaos broke out after the dragon attacked. I tried to reach Philippa's quarters. A terrified man approached me in one of the alleys, gave me a letter and begged me not to harm him. He said it was for you. The letter was short. I'm waiting in the Temerian camp. Letho.
What happened here while I was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit. During the evacuation, several skirmishes broke out. The Kingwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to help them.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
Well, they're established, and that's the only thing that prevented a wholesale massacre. Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas. Mages are part of this world, whether people like it or not. They have to have their rights, their place. Otherwise, another lodge will arise.
Vernon Roche, step away from the child.
She's of royal blood. Temerian. Too good for you, Horsens.
You're an outlaw, wanted in all the north. Hand over the child and perhaps the king will show you mercy.
I pass on Kedweni mercy.
Roche!
Triss! We can't let them have her! This is Foltest's daughter!
I've heard enough. Grab them!
I failed. Deathmold got away. Thanks, Geralt.
Triss needed my help. You know that. The Nilfgaardians outwitted us all.
What are you talking about?
They kidnapped Triss. The Emperor dispatched the Kingslayers using the Lodge as a decoy, all in order to breed chaos in the northern kingdoms.
Temeria is lost. Radovid and Henselt will divide it between them. They've signed the relevant treaty.
It's not lost. Temeria will be reunited. Get the child out of here. Take her far away, far from the kings, their courts, and their wars. One day, she'll reclaim her heritage.
What about you, Geralt?
I'm going after the Kingslayer.
A man of his word.
It's personal now.
Farewell then, White Wolf. I trust we'll meet again in better times.
Farewell, Roche. Where's Yorvith? How's Yorvith?
Proud, I think. The reward on his head has never been greater. Those seeking him, the Scoia'tael hunters, will be reinforced. The special forces throughout the north will receive more resources. The Council and the Conclave are assigning several mages to the task. Yorvith is now public enemy #1. They won't rest until they find him.
This is no place for witches. Though I know you and you appear wherever something important happens.
True, though sometimes by accident.
And this time, also a coincidence?
Let's say I have something to take care of.
In that case, hurry. Once we're done cleaning up this mess created by the royal soldiery, Loch Muin will be magically sealed.
Getting out of here?
Temporarily. We shall return soon enough to rebuild the city. Loch Muin will regain its former glory. Until that time, we need to keep the treasure hunters and troublemakers out.
So Radovid trusts you?
We shall win His Royal Majesty's trust by delivering Sheila de Tanserville and the other traitresses from the lodge.
That could take a while. Sheila's fled Lochmuin via megascope.
We have time. She cannot hide forever. Sooner or later, she will be ours. Forgive me, I must attend to some matters. And don't dawdle. The city will be sealed in 1 hour.
There he is.
Wait for me.
Geralt.
I don't want you to get hurt.
I can take care of myself.
Not this time. I need to talk to him alone. Wait for me at the city gate. If I'm not there within the hour, leave without me.
Took you a while?
Is that bauble from Sheila's megascope?
Mm-hmm. My final prank. I switched the diamonds. The one in the megascope has a flaw. Minute. But just large enough to warp the teleport. The Emperor's magic theorists assured me the effect would be spectacular.
I let her escape.
You're heartless. You've no idea what the royal witch hunters have in store for her. A lot of pain for a long time.
I don't doubt it. So, ready to lay your cards out on the table?
No matter the game, there comes a point when all the players need to show their cards. I love that moment. But first, vodka.
I suppose my throat's a little dry.
In that case, let's drink to old friendships. Recovered your memory yet?
Not entirely.
Remember how we first met?
Yeah. I saved your life. Couldn't think of a nicer way to pay me back?
Frankly, I couldn't. I mean, taking care of another man's woman, Yennefer. I can't fathom what you saw in her, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
The winter solstice 1270. Midinvern, the night of magic. Letho wasn't lying, the hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were simply too many. A stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation.
Back with me, friend. Got the feeling you left for a minute.
Memories. I remember the Hanged Man's Tree and the Wild Hunt. I remember the exchange. Me for Yennefer.
So, cards out on the table. Unless you chase me all that way just to kill me.
I chased you for lots of reasons. You owe me some explanations to start with.
Let's say I do.
Care to tell me what it was all about?
Kill as many rulers as we could. Lay the blame on the sorceresses. Breed chaos. Prepare the north. Soften it before the invasion. And you know what's incredible? We could not have imagined more fertile soil. No matter what the war's outcome, the northern monarchs will accuse one another, pursue their God-given rights, seek vengeance and be at each other's throats for years to come. The north resembles a whorehouse on fire, as your friend Dandelion would say.
Why are you still here? Why did you wait for me this time?
I knew you wouldn't give up. I knew you'd pursue me. And I don't aim to hide anymore. Fact is, only you know the truth about me. Well, and a couple of folks whose word isn't worth spit anymore. I never saw you as a foe. I want to go my way, but if I have to fight you first, so be it. This story ends here and now.
How did a Witcher agree to kill humans at another human's bidding?
At the Emperor's bidding, Geralt. And he's no ordinary human. The rulers of the North come up to about where his Pauline's end.
Why?
Simple. He promised to rebuild the School of the Viper, the Witcher's order where I came to be. Witcher's schools in the south fell into ruin long ago, and Witchers themselves became internal exiles, banned from entering most cities. Besides Seret and Ox, I know of 2 other Witchers of the School of the Viper who should be alive and on the path. I don't know where they are. Haven't seen them for years. Now they can come out of hiding. They can come home.
How did you know where we'd find the Wild Hunt?
Every Witcher who wears the Viper around his neck knows the place. We had so many books and scrolls about the hunt that I used to think our school was founded for the very purpose of solving the riddle of the spectral riders.
Know who they are? You know the true identities of the riders?
From what I understand, they're some damn elven race. But they turned out to be a big ruse. The legendary omen of war proved to be a fairground attraction.
No Market Square mage could possibly conjure up a cavalcade of wraiths speeding across the sky. Then there's the amnesia. No, there's something more, I assure you.
Go ahead, enlighten me. I can tell you want to.
There are a lot of legends and myths about it, but the Wild Hunt is a fact. I've fought and killed many of its wraiths. They were spectral emanations, the avatars of real riders. The riders we ran into by the Hanged Man's Tree.
Are you telling me you were carried off by elves? Real material sons of bitches like the ordinary kind we deal with in this world?
They may be ordinary in their world, but they're strangers in ours. The conjunction of spheres. Know the theory? Do you know how monsters appeared in our world?
There's not a Witcher who doesn't know that.
So you know there are other spheres. The most powerful of our mages can open passages between these worlds, and they usually do that to summon the monsters we then have to hunt. The elves we saw come from another world, and they weren't summoned. They found the way on their own. It's not exactly easy, so they usually send their spectral emanations. They come in person on special missions.
As they did for you and Yennefer.
Mm-hmm.
So, elves from another world and their trained wraiths. What did they want from you?
I've got an idea. But that's not your concern. Tell me about Yennefer. What happened after I departed?
She was feverish for several days. Delirious. In agony. We thought that was it. She was on her way out. Somehow she recovered. But even then she was disoriented. Amnesia like you.
What then?
Well, the woman turned out to be quite a character. Throwing temper tantrums, trying to seduce orcs, trying to drive a wedge between us. After you so nobly sacrificed yourself, we thought it'd be dumb just to leave her somewhere. She wouldn't have survived more than a month. The whims and vigor of a duchess, but she was just a sorceress with no memory. We were in the heart of the Empire. And as I'm sure you know, Geralt, in Nilfgaard, mages who behave like that either drop their bad habits quickly, or are drawn and quartered by horses in the middle of Victory Square.
So I heard.
So we set out, wandered through the provinces. Everywhere we went, she got in trouble and we pulled her out. And then one day they captured us. The Imperial Secret Police. Me, Ox, Sarah, and Yennefer.
Imperial Secret Police?
Mm-hmm. We were separated, and they questioned us. Long and thoroughly, but it was uneventful, no violence. That's how I met Vatia de Rideau, and a couple of weeks later, the Emperor himself. Me. A simple witcher.
What happened to Yennefer?
I don't know. Never saw her again. The Emperor offered me a mission in the northern kingdoms. As for Yennefer, I had the feeling she was somehow important to Emir. As I see it, they learned of the lodge from her. Those Imperial spooks have their ways. All I heard is that Vatir had his men watch Yennefer closely throughout the time she was at the palace. Then we went off to slay the kings of the north. That's where my knowledge ends.
So she's in the Empire?
She was when I left.
Care to tell me what it was all about?
And you know, the north...
I'm done talking. Let's finish this.
Wanna fight?
Any vodka left in that bottle?
A swig apiece. Here. The Imperial army is probably crossing the Yaruga as we speak. Pure pandemonium will ensue. The North's finished. Time to go south, where the good life awaits.
You're a fool, Letho. Both you and your Emperor are forgetting one thing. Misfortune brings people together. Very shortly, the North could be united like never before, thanks to you. But that's just not my concern anymore.
I'm not your foe. I never was. Let me walk away and I will. You'll never see me again. Force me to fight, and this time I'll kill you.
I've learned all I wanted to know. I can feel the memories coming back. Your death won't change a thing. Go where you will.
Just like that. No threats. No words of wisdom.
You going or not?
Farewell, Geralt.
The Witcher had traveled far and wide in search of the Kingslayers. In Flotsam, he slew Bernard Laredo, but few mourned for the Commandant. Flotsam remained Temerian, while command of the garrison and town went to a Vizima noble, a sworn enemy of Kedwen and an avid angler. To this day, folk gather round bonfires in Lobenden to hear of the Witcher's deeds. The Witcher witnessed a great Kedweni victory in Edirn. At Vergen, Henselt's army crushed Saskia the Dragonslayer's motley force, ending the springtime of races. Soldiers of the Unicorn swarmed over the Pontar Valley. As it had before, powerful Kedwen swallowed Upper Edirn whole. Yet subsequent events would render Henselt's triumph short-lived. Dark clouds had been gathering over Temeria since Foltest's death. Stripped of its king, the land was like a rich cloth which nobles began to shred. These minor scavengers, however, scurried off in fear when true predators reached out for their prize. The summit at Loch Muin sealed the fate of Foltest's realm, when Radovid of Redania and Henselt of Kedwen divided it between them. Years before, Geralt of Rivia had witnessed the fall of the Council and Conclave of Mages. The summit in Loch Muin re-established both bodies, their founders sacrificing Sheila de Tanzerville and her accomplices. Yet Radovid also required humility and loyalty from the proud mages, but this did not sit well with all of them. It was a time of great uncertainty, of rape accomplished by royal decree. Yet as troubled as the days seemed, we, who had in some way shaped the world's fate, finally received some respite. Zoltan resumed the quest for his beloved's hand, and I laid my head in the laps of the muses. Who could have known this tempest which had ravaged the north was but a harbinger of darker days, and the preamble to an entirely new tale of Geralt of Rivia.
Can we go?
Brigida Papperbrock. She gave me some pretty good leads.
Tell me.
Baron Kimbold hired some thugs to murder the royal bastards.
Son of a bitch. Foltest never trusted him. Turns out he was right not to.
It was Count Marivel who kidnapped Anais. He wanted to hand both children over to the Nilfgaardians, but Busi was killed.
Damn it all. Radovid is one thing, but Nilfgaard... When I get my hands on Marivel...
You won't. I delivered the evidence against both of them to Natalis, but the constable decided to ask Kimbold for help and arrested Marivel.
Wise. There will come a time for Kimbold as well, but Marivel needed to be removed immediately. A traitor is a traitor. They should take off his head. Can we go?
Let's do this.
Deathmold is a dead man.
I'm guessing you don't have a plan.
In fact, I do. We need to kill Deathmold and rescue the royal child.
You never did like playing it by ear.
I learned from the best.
See that? Deathmold's put up that magic barrier again. Apparently not a single sound seeps through.
I dread to think what he's doing inside.
Why are you here?
We have business with Deathmold.
The sorcerer is busy. No one's to disturb him.
Recognize me?
Should we?
Of course you should, unless you don't care about being promoted.
Who are you?
Now!
Help!
Enemy in
More
the
are
camp!
bound to arrive soon.
Well, let them come.
Arbalest, take your positions. The rest come with me. Enemy in the tunnel.
Top! Help me up. The low road's yours.
Stop them!
I'll take the walls.
Close that cursed gate! I'll pull your legs out of your arse! Tighter! Tighter! Defend the passage!
I killed them all. He'll pay dearly.
Unit 2! Block the passage!
Ready, Geralt.
I can hear him. Deathmold's here and he's not alone.
Did you see Radovid's retinue? I swear the snot-nosed lad thinks he's king of the world. He should never have shown up here after the recent events in Redania. Honestly, if he grows to be another Vizimir, I hope he ends up like the first. And those robes of his, did you see? All right, there's time for one more. Pants off. You've broken my arm! You've broken my arm! Do you know it's worth, you son of a bitch?
Now it's worth shit like the rest of you.
What do you want? I'll give you anything.
You
can't give back what you took from me. Cutting off your balls and slitting your throat will have to do.
No!
You reap what you sow. Time to free Foltest's daughter. Are you all right? I am Vernon Roche of Temeria. This is Witcher Geralt.
She's terrified.
If Deathmold touched her, I'll kill the son of a bitch all over again.
What'll you do with the child, Vernon?
I made an arrangement with Radovid, and Vernon Roche always keeps to his word.
So be it. Let's go.
Don't be afraid. I was your father's soldier. I'll not let anyone harm you.
Looks like someone's provided an escort.
In the name of King Radovid, we demand that you hand over the child of Louisa Lavalette.
Shame you didn't show up earlier.
Pay heed to whom you're talking.
Pay heed to the corpses of those who were impolite to us.
You're lucky Radovid told us to stay calm.
I'll be sure to thank him personally for that.
Beware of Radovid, Vernon.
Rest assured, I'd never forgive myself if the heiress to Foltest's throne came to any harm.
Don't ever take your eyes off her. I won't be surprised to learn Radovid had a hand in Lucy's death.
Anything's possible. Anais is Temeria's last chance for ultimate independence. Freedom will come sooner or later.
Plan to serve Radovid now?
Henselt won't have me. Temeria is all I care about. I'll serve it best under Radovid. I can breathe easier now that the scumbag is dead.
Revenge unburdens you of your past, but it also affects your future.
Surviving son of a cunt! His cocksucking motherfucking majesty!
Excuse me?
Oh, pardon me, sir, I meant no offense.
You're leaving the deliberations. Why?
Henselt! He used to have all Edirn where to live in a Kedwenny yoke! Scandalous.
No one opposed him?
None! Radovid drools for Temeria, and will let that lout have anything in exchange. The North will never be the same again. I must return home. Farewell.
Roche had murder in his eyes. He wanted blood and couldn't care less that it was royal, that this was what Letho would have wanted. The death of a king is the triumph of chaos, civil war, famine, fear among common folk, a time of disdain. That is the only reason Henselt remains alive and Kedwen grows stronger. Thousands of Kedwenis live better lives because their ruler is an amoral, ruthless son of a bitch who stands above the law.
Constable John Natalis.
Interex John Natalis. He is weak.
So, even the Nilfgaardians have graced us with their presence.
This will be a great moment. Ready?
Let's get this done.
Temeria is internally divided. As Constable of Temeria, I'm in no position to speak for the whole country regarding the Council and the Conclave. I am honored to speak on Temeria's behalf before this esteemed body. But I'm only the Constable. I cannot be sure some Baron won't cancel my signature in a week.
What's your point, Constable?
I lack my country's support regarding the Council and the Conclave. Neither do I intend to seek the crown, for I've lesser blood in my veins. And as a soldier, I know my place in the ranks.
Well said, John Natalis. Temeria, the realm separating the north from Emir Va Emrys, and most importantly from his armies, is divided and weak. Yet this land deserves law and order, which cannot be provided by the quarreling rabble spoilt by Foltest's generosity. Incessant wars between Temerian princelings are not in Kedwin's interest. Too many important trade routes run through the land.
Redania will also take no comfort from unrest in Temeria. Therefore, we cannot leave the realm to its own devices.
Temeria is an independent state, well able to resolve its own problems. You seek to tear Foltest's legacy to pieces, appropriate what was never meant to be yours.
Calm down, John Natalis. We will speak of that in due course, once we know with whom. As you said yourself, you cannot speak for all of Temeria.
Constable Natalis is right after all. Temeria must endure as a strong kingdom.
That is not the kingdom I had in mind.
Yet that is the kingdom that will be, ruled over by myself, and a virgin of Foltest's blood.
You stole the child?
Little girls need to be looked after, King.
Noble attendees, I need to stress that the King of Redania present here has ploughed me without tallow. I am checkmated, though I'll be damned if this is the last time our pawns meet on the chessboard. Next time, I shall be much the wiser.
These are hard times. Foltest's death has complicated matters, but we cannot allow the realm that is the shield of the North to plunge into chaos. Temeria will become Redania's protectorate. You will hail me, Radovid, as your king.
Even if you guarantee the kingdom remains united and separate, the Temerian nobility will never acquiesce to any limitations on sovereignty.
Even you won't silence them, Radovid.
Remember who sits at my side in Tretago. Ada, Foltest's daughter.
All Temerians remember that, Your Majesty. They also know that Foltest's other daughter is still alive, a girl all the people of Vizima will look upon more favorably.
Behold, Anais, the child you seek.
Anais La Valette? How?
She was rescued from the hands of the sorcerer Deathmold, whose business in Lochmuin is shrouded in mystery. She will remain under my protection until she comes of age. Then, should Temeria will it, you can have your queen. Until then, Anais will live in Tretago. We will speak of this later, John Natalis. After all, we have not come here to crown children.
Do you think the child will ever sit on the Temerian throne? Everything is in Radovid's hands. We prevented the kingdom from being divided. That's the most important thing.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the northern kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the Conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tanseville's signature.
Without our royal seals, you shall be allowed to designate advisors to Cowherd at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
My kings,
Before you sign this document, please hear me out.
Excellency, with all due respect, this matter does not concern Nilfgaard in the least.
I am here at King Henselt's bidding. Will you deny my right to speak?
What is the meaning of this?
This man tried to kill me this morning. He attempted to take an Imperial envoy's life in your lands.
I presume he was interrogated.
He confessed. Foltest and Demiven died by his hand. He also revealed the identity of his employers.
Sorceresses. They helped me with my assassinations.
Speak on.
The Lodge of Sorceresses sought to remove those rulers who acted against the will of mages.
Lodge of Sorceresses?
We have compiled a list. Philippa Eilhart, Margarita Loantil, Triss Merigold, Kira Metz, Francesca Findaber, Ida Emin, and finally, Sheila de Tanzavir. To my deepest regret, 2 Nilfgaardian sorceresses, Asiragar Anahid and Fringa Levigo, were also members. The Emperor will deal with them accordingly.
Your Majesty, what's the meaning of this?
Arrest them all. Your document will have to wait, honorable sorcerers.
You have no right.
Surrender now if you don't want another massacre, this time in Loch Muine. A court of law will reveal the traitors.
We cut off! I can't get through! Sheila! You must get Sheila!
Stand back while you can, Witcher. You can't stop me. Not you, not anyone else.
You're late. I've already managed to stabilize the portal.
You've got nowhere to run. Sooner or later, somebody will find you.
I prefer to leave on my own terms.
Where's Letho?
Sir Synthesis will tend to him, as she will to all the fools who get a hard-on at the mere thought of burning a sorceress at the stake.
Where is he?
I don't know, fool. I've been looking for him since Foltest's assassination. Letho cheated all of us. We were deceived by his dull face and sluggish stare. Don't you understand? The Lodge sought a way to get rid of Demavend, that's true. He was a weak, volatile king. Edirn would eventually choke to death under his rule. We chose the lesser evil. He had to be eliminated, and Letho happened to be at hand.
Foltest? Henselt?
We had nothing to do with that. After assassinating Demavend, Letho used our gold and magical support to find and meet Yorveth. The elf was to help him hide until the matter blew over, or so I thought. The Lodge did not condemn Foltest to die.
Then who did?
Nilfgaard. Letho is the king of liars and emperor of traitors. From the start, he worked for the glory of the great sun and the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. He lied to everyone. Me, Yorveth, your stupid little Triss, and you.
Got any evidence?
A moment ago, I received a message from the Lodge's agent in Sintra. The Imperial Army is on the move. They're fording the Yaruga now. Do you think the North can defend itself in the current situation? But can you count on another miracle at Brenna?
I don't know, but you made it all possible and you'll answer for that. The stigma of treason is yours for all time.
We shall see. For no one will leave this city alive. No one will tell this story. Philippa controls the dragon. As soon as I disappear, it will turn the city into a flaming tomb.
The dragon attacked Foltest's troops during the siege of Lavalette Castle. That hardly supports your tale.
We did not control it then. We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it. This is your end, Witcher.
Farewell! Something's not right. The diamond! Someone replace the diamond! This one's flawed. Are we torn to bits? Geralt, remove it! The diamond. Remove the diamond. I'll give you anything you want. No! No!
Too old for this.
beginning, there was chaos.
How did it go with the dragon?
It had a hard landing, impaled on a tree. I had to kill it.
The relentless march of time. Too bad, but there was really no choice. The sorceresses would have used it without hesitation.
Know the worst thing, Roche? That was possibly the last dragon in this world. Gone. A beautiful, noble creature. The Lodge made it a simple tool.
We'll get them, Witcher. The sorceresses have it coming. Radovid and the other kings already ordered firewood to be gathered for the pyres.
What about the council and the conclave?
I'd sooner expect the proclamation of an inquisitorial synod.
Not all sorceresses deserve the stake.
You can't make an omelette.
Without breaking some eggs, I know. Doesn't hurt to wear that Redanian eagle on your uniform?
It's just cloth. My true colors are on my skin. I'll never change those.
You're gonna serve Radovid?
Mm-hmm. Temeria needs a strong, independently minded king, and I've no better candidates. Besides, I have to protect Anais.
I see. What about Letho? Did you capture him?
Not entirely.
Meaning?
Letho awaits you in the former Temerian camp. He sent a messenger.
Let's go. Tell me what happened here on the way.
Pillage, rape, murder. Not necessarily in that order.
Who on whom?
The kings let their troops loose. They were supposed to deal with just the treacherous sorceresses, but they quickly decided every mage was a traitor. The soldiers vastly outnumbered the mages, who could do nothing with the magical blockade still in place throughout the city. When the rulers left the city surrounded by their armored cordons, soldiers in loose mobs went on a mage hunt. Most of the noted and powerful managed to flee. The others were hounded to death.
Calm down. I want to help.
Their eyes need to be opened. They must see.
They're dead.
I am too. But I opened my eyes and saw...
What did you see?
Peace Summit. Peace Summit. Peace Summit.
The world's gone mad.
Let's get out of here.
Stop. I heard something.
More marauders.
He's here! Kill the traitor! Temeria!
What about the Nilfgaardians?
They ran like hell. Rumor has it they're behind it all.
That's no rumor.
How do you know?
From Sheila. She was surprisingly knowledgeable.
If it was the Nilfgaardians, then war's inevitable. Letho.
Triss.
All right, let's end this.
No, Roche. I'm going alone.
Why, Geralt?
Take care of Triss. Wait for me at the city gate. If I'm not back within the hour, leave without me.
But...
Just do it, Roche. Please. I need to deal with this alone. Are you all right?
Yes. He saved me from the Nilfgaardians and defended me from the troops.
Time to end this. Roche is waiting. I'll join you soon.
Geralt, he knows a lot.
I know, Triss. That's why we need to talk.
Don't get killed, Witcher.
I won't.
Took you a while?
Is that bauble from Sheila's megascope?
Mm-hmm. My final prank. I switched the diamonds. The one in the megascope has a flaw. Minute. But just large enough to warp the teleport. The Emperor's magic theorists assured me the effect would be spectacular.
Oh, it was.
Good. Had she lived, she would have suffered more intensely and much longer. She helped me quite a bit, through naivety and pride. I would not have gotten far without her.
So, ready to lay your cards out on the table?
No matter the game, there comes a point when all the players need to show their cards. I love that moment. But first... vodka?
I only drink with friends.
What about old acquaintances? Eh? Recovered your memory yet?
Not entirely.
Remember how we first met?
Yeah, I saved your life. Couldn't think of a nicer way to pay me back?
Frankly, I couldn't. I mean, taking care of another man's woman, Yennefer. I can't fathom what you saw in her, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
The winter solstice 1270. Midinvern, the night of magic. Letho wasn't lying, the hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every Witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our Witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were simply too many. A stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation.
Back with me, friend. Got the feeling you left for a minute.
Memories. I remember the Hanged Man's Tree and the Wild Hunt. I remember the exchange. Me for Yennefer.
So, cards out on the table. Unless you chase me all that way just to kill me.
I chased you for lots of reasons. You owe me some explanations to start with.
Let's say I do.
Tell me about Yennefer. What happened after I departed?
She was feverish for several days. Delirious. In agony. We thought somehow...
What then?
Well, the woman turned after we were in the heart.
So I heard.
So we set out.
Imperials?
That's...
What happened?
I don't know. Those...
So she's in...
She was when I left.
I'm done talking. Let's finish this.
Want to fight?
Any vodka left in that bottle?
A swig apiece. Here.
Imperial army is probably crossing the Yaruga as we speak. Pure pandemonium will ensue. The North's finished. Time to go south, where the good life awaits.
You're a fool, Letho. Both you and your Emperor are forgetting one thing. Misfortune brings people together. Very shortly, the North could be united like never before, thanks to you. But that's just not my concern anymore.
I'm not your foe. I never was. Let me walk away and I will. You'll never see me again. Force me to fight, and this time I'll kill you.
Time to fight. Ready?
As I'll ever be. You fear death.
Stop whining and fight.
What does it feel like to be almost dead?
I said fight.
The Witcher had traveled far and wide in search of the Kingslayers. In Flotsam, he slew Bernard Laredo, but few mourned for the Commandant. Flotsam remained Temerian, while command of the garrison and town went to a Vizima noble, a sworn enemy of Kedwen and an avid angler. To this day, folk gather round bonfires in Lobendon to hear of the Witcher's deeds. The Witcher witnessed a great Kedweni victory in Edirn. At Vergen, Henselt's army crushed Saskia the Dragonslayer's motley force, ending the springtime of races. Soldiers of the Unicorn swarmed over the Pontar Valley. As it had before, powerful Kedwen swallowed Upper Edirn whole. Yet subsequent events would render Henselt's triumph short-lived. When King Foltest fell at the hands of an assassin, chaos engulfed his realm. Where others saw spoils, Roche saw his motherland bleeding. Vernon made a difficult choice, surrendering Foltest's daughter to Radovid. The Redanian ruler, trump card in hand, turned Temeria into his protectorate and began restoring peace. The kingdom's inhabitants soon learned why Radovid was called the Stern. A tempest descended on the north, at least partly the work of manipulative mages. It seemed the turmoil in Temeria, Edirn, and Kedwen would benefit them most. Common folk turned against sorceresses and all magic freaks, witchers included. Castles that had hitherto welcomed mavens of the magic arts now shut their gates to any who sought shelter there. A witch hunt ensued. It was a time of great uncertainty, of rape accomplished by royal decree. Yet as troubled as the day seemed, we, who had in some way shaped the world's fate, finally received some respite. Zoltan resumed the quest for his beloved's hand, and I laid my head in a lapse of the muses. Who could have known this tempest which had ravaged the north was but a harbinger of darker days, and the preamble to an entirely new tale of Geralt of Rivia.